have watched the Master Chef? Any edition? Alright, I can see some hands. What about The Survivor? Anyone? Okay. And what about Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Alright. So these are popular names of reality TV. But how did we go from watching black and white television to watching a person eating bugs on an island for cash? Toastmaster of the day and mine, ladies and gentlemen. Reality TV isn't new as it seems. It lasts back to 1940s. It all started with a show called Candid Camera in 1948. So it was all about hidden cameras which would capture humor in the most awkward and funny situations. Let me give you an example. So now you could find this video on YouTube as well. It's called The Never Ending Bank Line. So let's put a name for this person called Jack. So Jack is standing in a bank line and the line seems to be never ending. There is a line next to him and that seems to be moving fast. Guess why? Because all the others are scripted actors. So he doesn't know this. So naturally what would a person do? He would shift the line, right? So he moves to the next line. Then the actors move accordingly, whereas this line is now stuck. He moves here, and he never reaches the counter. Then finally, he reaches the counter, and guess what the counter lady says? Sorry sir, the counter is closed. You can imagine the look of frustration on his face. But what came after that was a roar of laughter from the audience. That show was popular during those times. And right after that, a show called Queen for a Day came out in 1956. You can see some women sitting up there. So there are some everyday women who would come on a show and share their lives. Now they are not just sharing their lives, they are sharing all the saddest moments of their lives. So why are they sharing it? So in the audience there is something called the applause meter. And the audience is also sitting. The louder the applause, the better the chance for winning the prize. So it technically means sadder your story, better the prize. Bizarre, isn't it? But you wouldn't believe at that time this was groundbreaking. But however, a lot of criticism came with that show as well. A popular TV show presenter called Mr. Mark actually criticized this show a lot. He said, this show is ghastly. Like, it demeans women. Like, why would people even watch it? They don't have sense. Criticism kept on coming, but so did the show kept on going, and it was such a hit. As reality TV went across, there was another show introduced in 1973 called The American Family. Now the American Family was a show where the cameras would follow a family in itself. So it would follow the family on its misery, joyful moments, marriage, divorce, everything. It was messy, emotional. But when this show started off, the producers took a step back. They thought, would people actually watch this? People already had a messy life going on. Would they want to see it on TV? But what surprised was, it actually ended up becoming a hit. That's when the producers noticed that maybe reality could be compelling as fiction. And from there onwards, reality TV started exploding with a lot of major hits. And in the 2000s, there came Big Brother. Now currently there are 50 different versions of Big Brother. I'm sure you are aware about it. It's called Big Boss, it's called in different languages. So it's about you put some strangers in a house with no devices, surveillance cameras are there and tasks are done and whoever ends up wins it. During this time, another show called The Survivor was introduced, and that is about certain people on an island who do the most disgusting tasks and eliminate each other, and the one who remains wins it. Actually, fun fact, the first season, which was aired in 2000, 51 million people watched it in the US in itself. Can you imagine people actually sitting, wasting their time watching this show in the 2000s? But just like how reality TV was growing, different genres of it came as well. For example, if you wanted love, you had The Bachelor. If you wanted food, you had Master Chef. Whatever you wanted, reality TV had it. So every part of the population had something to watch. I mean, we were consuming a lot of reality TV. That was good, right? Well, people didn't see the dark side of it. It's called reality TV, but sometimes there was nothing realistic about it. People often complained that it was way too scripted. Some often even said that the cuts were over-edited. The contestants came out of the show and said that they were not the people that were portrayed, that it was the producer's image. There was an unethical issue behind reality TV, and maybe it was not so real anymore. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here trying to tell you reality TV is all fake, that you should stop watching it. All I'm trying to say is try to understand what is real and what is not. There's a thin line between it, and as the audience, we need to understand that reality TV may not be so real anymore, but the lessons from it could be. For example, you can cry with the contestants, laugh with them, cheer for them loud, but along the way, try to learn one or two things. For example, it could teach you how to be a better person. Maybe you could see someone doing something wrong and you could be like, oh, I would never do that. All of these are learnings. And when you see it on the screen and how much ever you yearn for it to be real, you yourself keep it real. And as my favorite quote by Ice-T goes, I'm all about keeping it real. If I live it that way, I live it that way. Back to you, evaluator.